Hello and welcome back to Black Voices, a podcast where we explore the stories, experiences, and identities of Black individuals living in Japan. I'm your host, Kate Brown, and I'm so excited to launch the fifth episode with someone who is very close to my father, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, thank you so much for joining me. It really means a lot. To start off, could you introduce yourself and share a little bit about your background?
Good afternoon, Kate. Hey, thank you for having me. My name is Jeffrey Swindell. I'm from the Bronx in New York. I've been traveling Japan for about 10 years of my life, back and forth from here to America. So I like it here. I'm enjoying myself.
Great, thank you so much. Starting off with the first question. Um, So you said you've lived in Japan for 10 years now?
About 10 years. Yeah, 10 years of my life I've been in Japan.
So in what ways in living in Japan has influenced you to understand or see your identity in general?
I would say mostly in Japan because of the politeness. I think Japan has made me a nicer person, more approachable, more aware of my surroundings and just being a good person in society.
That's good. Was it like hard to kind of adjust to like the dynamics of the culture? Just like how everyone bows, or like I guess it's really different because no one really just talks in public out of the blue, like in the States, I guess. So
Mm.
it's like kind of more conservative in a way.
It wasn't hard to adapt. You just got to learn how to follow what they're doing.
Mm.
Just do what they're doing. You see it and adapt. Just don't be standoffish to the way that they do things. But no, it wasn't hard to adapt. I actually enjoy the culture.
That's great. Yeah. What are some common misunderstandings or stereotypes you've encountered about Black culture and identity in Japan? Um, I guess anywhere compared in Iwakuni or like Tokyo and stuff, if you've ever been.
Well, I don't think there's a lot of misconceptions. What I think it is that in Japan they like a lot of people's cultures, right? They watch a lot of TV, like they travel, right? So they just copy whatever they see on TV, right? So if they see rappers, they copy what the rappers do, right? They see people with low riders, you have Japanese that have low riders, right? And they wear like the Dickies and the button up shirts and all that stuff, right? They just try to adapt to everybody's culture and copy it a little bit. So I think the misconception is probably about what they see on TV, vice when they actually meet like Black Americans or
Mm,
any Americans in person.
mm, I understand. Can you share like a specific experience you encountered in Japan that helped you like open your eyes to the culture here, or just something that like made you look back now? Um,
I would say probably my first real experience here was probably when I needed to get my car fixed, right? Went to a mechanic and the mechanic spoke no English, but the mechanic tried his hardest to like help me and figure out the situation that was going on with my car. And me and that mechanic and his family became actually really close because they just won't send you away, right? They'll keep going and going until they help you, or they'll do their best to find somebody who can help you. That's it's a little bit different in America, vice being in Japan with getting that customer service.
mm. So you would say like Japan's like one of the biggest things here is just kindness, like you said earlier too as well, like how nice people are in general.
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Um, what are some important moments that made you surprised in Japan? Like obviously it's hard even for a lot of people that have um came on the podcast, like they said there's a vast difference between where they came from and obviously Japan. Not only because of the culture, but because a lot of different other stuff. But like, is there like a moment or like a surprise moment you've ever encountered here?
I mean, well, being from New York, right? Yeah, New York is a scary place. And there's certain places in New York that you just can't be out walking around at 2, 3 in the morning, right? With your chains on, you're flashy, right? Or just being in the wrong area. In Japan, I mean, at 2, 3 in the morning, it's pretty peaceful, especially down here in Wakuni, right? It's pretty much the country, right? That was the first thing that I'm walking around areas. I'm like, man, like there's nobody out here, nobody to bother you. You can go to the convenience store in the morning, get what you need to do at 2, 3 in the morning, and just go home and be safe, right? That's one of the main things that I think when I first got here that I was surprised about.
Mm, just the safety. Um,
Yes, ma'am.
mm, I understand. Um, have you ever experienced any challenges here?
Challenges. I would say, just language barrier. right? That would be about the most of it, right? Would be the language barrier because everything that I need, I've been able to get here,
Mm,
right? I've been able to either like, I mean, especially nowadays, right? You got like Google Translate, right? So you can Google Translate, you can grab a book, you can learn that. It's just the language barrier is most of the challenges things. Because I mean, besides that, everything here is pretty easy to adapt to.
mm, understand. Um, Last question. Um, what are some parts of the experiences that like I guess you work, right? Like
Yes.
in general. So like is there any like differences between personal and professional societal norms or just those kind of like interactions that you never experienced in a way that you experienced here in Japan?
I would say, the only thing I would say is because I've worked with some Japanese people before in some Japanese companies, is the way the workers would treat the boss, right? And in America, right, you got your boss, you say, "Hi, boss, how you doing?" You know, you give that respect of the boss, you go about your day. In Japan, it seems like the people try to please the boss a lot, right?
Mm,
And if the boss says let's do something, people, even if they got something going on, they're gonna flow to do what the boss says. Like, oh, let's go eat after work, let's go drink after work, and people will do that. In America, if I got something to do, I'm going about my business. But it's something about the level or the hierarchy of how it is in a Japanese company that that the workers try to please the boss.
mm. Do you, what do you think about that kind of
I
mindset?
think I think it sometimes is excessive. I don't like it too much, but this is their society, so they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But it's like going to dinner and like you're pretty much cooking for somebody, like Yaki Nick would like cooking for them or pouring their drinks. I'm like, I think that's a little excessive.
Mm, I understand. Well, living, I guess the 30 years before you lived in Japan, you were just in New York, right?
Oh well, I traveled around, but yeah, mainly New York.
Mm. Um, is there, I guess 10 years and 30 years compared, like it's not that much, but is there like differences you see in yourself? Not because of the way Japanese people are around here, but just because like internally you wanted to like kind of change within yourself. Like, is there like a part of you that feels like home in Japan? Um,
So, life is about growth, right? So throughout my travels, in life, I've grown a lot, right? I would definitely say that spending 10 years of my life in Japan, Japan does feel like home, right? It definitely feels like a second home. I mean, I've been going back and forth. Even when I didn't live here in Japan, I would have to come back to visit or I would come back for work. So, I've got friends that I've known maybe 20 plus years in Japan, right? So it definitely feels like home for me and it definitely like a second home.
Hmm, that's very nice. Yeah. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Jeffrey, thank you so much for sharing your story and wisdom. It's such a privilege to have you as my fifth guest. And thank you to everyone listening. I hope you found today's conversation meaningful and interesting. I look forward to seeing you next time on Black Voices. Thank you so much.
AK, thanks for having me. Have a good one.
You too. Okay.